Hi guys, this is FNGR, and I'd like to thank everyone who came out for the cast this week. EyeofSol for being this week's Queen of Limbo, with the following co-hosts: Lilac-galaxy, Golden Fox, Wubcake, and Sapphire Heartsong. Sorry about some of the audio flubs my recording didn't take, and I'd like to thank Lilac-galaxy whose backup did. Please make sure to check out her DA below, we wouldn't have this show without her. Also, for EyeofSol, I find her insights are unique, and she is far from the redundant tripe that you'll find on many YouTube channels. She really is one of a kind, and while I might not agree with everything that she has to say, that she is beyond insightful. Also, if you're looking for more of my content, please check out Analysis Daily, where I just covered Fluttershy leans in. I should have a new How Not to Brony by the end of the week, maybe later on, because I have a special contributor in Event Horizon. See you next time.
Oh, fucking hell.
Alright, here, yeah, let me do the intro. That would probably help.
Professional
This is
podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. This is FNGR welcoming you all to Limbo Podcast, joined by the following co-hosts: Golden Fox.
What's up?
Sapphire Heartsong.
Yo.
Wubcake.
Hi.
Lilac-galaxy.
I'm Kichi's replacement.
She is. And this week's Queen of Limbo, EyeofSol.
Hi there.
Whose cat is meowing in the back?
That's mine. Because everything is so fucking loud here that they can't seem to shut up.
Oh, it's fine. Well, let's see. What microphone do you use? Kind and brand.
And, here's one sec. Audio-Technica AT2020 USB Plus.
Good brand. I use an Audio-Technica as well. Well, not for the podcast, though. What program do you use to edit?
Adobe Premiere, After Effects, Make MKV, AVS Video Converter, Photoshop. Nice.
What's been your magnum opus video that you've worked on, your proudest work?
Probably the Great Balls review. It might not be my favorite in content necessarily, but it was sort of the turning point for the content of my channel, where it started off that I'm still doing right now. And I think other than the black and white screen, it turned out exactly the way I wanted it to be. And it was a shitload of fun to make.
You didn't care if you were biased. It was still a 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
That's what I
mean,
remember.
having one character that's kind of a bitch isn't really, or not really a detriment to the series. It's still funny. So I can't really say that as a negative point, really.
Conversely, what's a video that you worked on that you're maybe less proud of?
The only one I've made that I absolutely fucking despise is the first collaboration video I did for Bulbatube's channel, the Pokemon the First Movie review I did. It was the first movie review that I did, and it was so pathetically, put together, and it was on someone else's channel, but he wasn't involved and all, and it was bad. I spent way too long in the introduction, and people were just like, oh wow, this bitch is talking bad about Pokemon because she doesn't know. It's like, well, I know about Pokemon, but still the review was crap. Okay. The crappiest one on my channel was my first one, the Symbionic Titan review. That one's pathetic.
Well, the first one's supposed to be allowed to suck. You mentioned collaboration. Do you have any advice for people who are, trying that out for the first time?
Don't be a dick. There are a lot of people who try to get collaborations with people, and they ask too much. They don't correspond often enough, and they're just dicks. So don't be a fucking dick, and people will want to work with you.
Well, again, on that note, so I could stay Goldie, did you want to say something?
A very self-entitled popular YouTube analyst, if you catch my drift, Wubcake.
What?
Huh?
Okay, to explain better context, there's an analyst. I don't know if I should
Goldie,
say
I don't know if that's
not,
appropriate for this. No, I don't wish to alienate Wub from. Yeah, let's walk that back, please. I doubt EyeofSol knows who we're talking about. And that might be somebody that I'm cool with, and I don't feel like causing any conflict there.
I mean, if somebody's not cool with somebody, I'm not going to be like, oh my god, you're so mean! I'm going to be like,
you said step on the gas. Go ahead, Goldie. I tried to say.
I mean,
there's a user, okay, well, sorry if I name drop, but there's this user who goes with the name of I Love Impossible a lot, and notoriously she has had a huge team of editors and such.
Oh, yeah. I assume you meant somebody from Tumblr, Goldie, if you get my hint.
Oh, no. No, okay. That's a whole different can of worms that I just know that it will just be nothing but problems.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought you said he. I was like, huh?
No, I meant she.
Anyways, back to the interview.
Sorry. Let's continue.
Okay. I've lost all track. On that note, EyeofSol, what point would you say is probably a good bet to call off a collab when things have gone poorly enough?
Well, I've only ever called off one collaboration that I actually agreed to do, and we started, well, I should say we loosely, but a script was starting to be made. It was going to be on Chicken Run, and I'm not going to say who it was because I'm not that guy. But basically, he was nice to me. He was doing on his YouTube channel was complaining about how shit his life was and being a really big whiner and complaining all the time. And he didn't do a whole lot of work on the script. Even when I said, "Hey, we need to start writing this damn script now. Let's get started." He's just very, very unwilling to contribute, which is the whole goddamn point of a collaboration. So I ended up saying, "All right, look. Maybe we can collaborate in the future, but you need to get your shit together before I can work with you." So we called off the collab. So like I said, just don't be a dick. And and also he revealed that we were going to be collaborating before there was even any confirmation of that, which I said specifically not to do because, things can fall apart. That's the only time collaborations fall apart. I've had people with 3 subs ask me for a collab and they make Minecraft videos and it's no, I'm sorry, no. I don't say no to a whole lot of things, but that I feel I'm justified in saying no to.
This is going to be a fun one you could choose to pass on. Not objectively, why do you feel cat people are better than dog people?
I don't think either are better than either. Both have their strengths and their weaknesses. I'm a cat person, but I also love dogs. I wouldn't own a dog because I just don't like the amount of maintenance they require. But I still love them. I love looking at pictures of them. I don't like that dog people are very rude to cat people sometimes, and vice versa. But honestly, it's just a preference. Who cares? It's like if I said, who do you prefer, McDonald's or Burger King people? It's I don't give a shit. It's the type of burgers they eat. Who cares? The only reason I would ever be against it would be if, what do you prefer, killing cats or killing dogs?
Oh, jeez.
I'd have to see, are those the only choices? Something like that. So people can do what they want. I don't really care.
How many cats do you own and what breed are they?
I have 3 cats. My oldest cat is a female calico. Obviously, if she's a calico, she's most likely female. Her name's Hanabi. And then I have a middle male who's a tuxedo cat. His name's Kumo. Very shy. And then my newest cat is Sensei, and he's about 5 months old, and he is a pure black, short-haired cat with a wee tiny bit of white on his chest. He's the one making all the noise right now. He's standing behind my computer, actually.
Hey, Sensei.
Aww. Yeah. So
that's incredible.
In terms of my preference to own, I much prefer cats. But in terms of enjoyment, I love cats and dogs equally.
If you had to rate your involvement in the anime fandom, let's say otaku level, I have something else written down here, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say your highest? What would your power level be, with 10 being the highest?
-12 at this point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I fell off bad too.
Oh, wow.
People don't really watch my anime reviews very much. They mostly prefer the Western cartoons reviews. I don't know. It's because most people have already decided that they like anime or don't like anime. So if they don't like anime, they're not going to bother watching a review saying, "Oh, this anime is shit," or "Oh, this anime is cool." Yeah. Something like that.
Is it really that polarizing?
No. There's some that are just sort of meh. I'm just saying is that my anime reviews are always the least popular because not as many people watch anime.
Okay.
There's lots of anime I've recommended people watch, but people don't really listen to me in that regard.
Western cartoon question. How excited are you for Invader Zim coming back?
What?
How excited
I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you sound a little quiet.
How excited are you for the Invader Zim coming back?
I don't really succumb to the hype train, to be honest. If it's good, it'll be good. If it's bad, it'll be bad. So I'll reserve judgment until I see it.
Yeah, man.
I feel the same way. Yeah, TV movie or something.
Nickelodeon's on a complete nostalgia trip right now.
They really are.
Still a Gorillaz TV show. That's good.
I'm excited for that one.
Hopefully
it don't fuck
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
It was a weird announcement, but cool. Oh, it was weird, but it was cool.
Yeah, I was going to say, on the nostalgia note, on a series that's actually 4 episodes in, feel free to anyone to steal this since it's pretty obvious where I'm going with this.
So what are your thoughts on the new Samurai Jack since you've already reviewed the original?
Extra thick.
Well, to be honest, it's been extremely good. I feel like... Okay, well, first of all, the only thing I can really say is being lesser than the original series is Greg Baldwin's performance of Aku, which I get it. Mako Iwamatsu is dead, so you can't really do anything about that. But it's not the same. Sensei, stop it. He just doesn't have the same inflection, the same energy. It's just not the same. So Aku just feels really, sort of flat.
Didn't he play Mako or Noah? Iroh in Avatar: The Last Airbender during book 3 too?
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Is Greg Baldwin does like Mako Iwamatsu's voice when he's not around.
Yeah. Sensei, I swear to God, stop it.
Jesus. Okay. If I would have known the cat would have screwed you this whole time, I probably would have got an artist in there trying to type at your keyboard while you're on the computer.
But yeah, like presentation-wise, it's still amazing. I hope that now that they've shown their violence level that they can achieve, I hope they tone it down a bit, because I don't want them to just keep getting more and more violent. It's the Tokyo Ghoul / Hellsing Ultimate issue, where they start the violence at 11 and just have nowhere to go, but continually being super violent, which gets really boring.
Yeah.
So I hope that now they've shown their capacity for violence, they can tone it back down.
Can we edit in a coup saying extra thick?
You keep slipping back there, Fagatini. Are you getting away from your mic?
No, my voice. I keep losing my voice.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let me move my mic closer. Can we edit in a coup saying extra thick?
Indeed. I suppose.
Bless.
Yeah, but so far it's been very impressive.
Again, I feel free for anyone to tear into me for being picky here. We're going to get to the BoJack Horseman review now. I was confused. You talked about there being a difference between a plot and a story. I didn't quite follow.
Well, technically, a plot is easier to summarize, whereas a story is actually like beat by beat what happens. So a plot you could summarize like BoJack Horseman's plot is that it's an aging 90s sitcom actor who lives in Hollywood with a lazy roommate, and he's trying to get his stardom back. That's the plot. Hollywood. But a story is like, so the first episode is BoJack watching horsing around, and then Todd comes in, and it's just you tell the whole story. So there is a difference. There's a difference between a setting, a plot, and a story, or / narrative.
I'm glad I asked. Do you prefer the Netflix, I guess, the series of being able to marathon it, or do you like the week-to-week grind?
Honestly, I don't really care. Like, because of the way I do reviews, I have to binge watch a lot of stuff anyway, and sometimes it's a lot harder than other times if it's really bad, the thing I'm watching. So yeah, my usual method is to watch 5 or 6 episodes a day of something if I have the time. Minimum is 2 per day. So yeah, binge watching is kind of my default method. Unless I'm watching something that I really like and have already reviewed, then I might just watch 1 episode here and there.
Were you amused or frustrated by the April Fool's joke that they did with Samurai Jack?
You know what? If I had known that Samurai Jack was airing that day, I probably would have been more frustrated. But I was live streaming that day and wasn't thinking about it. So I was just kind of like, oh, right. Holy so first I didn't believe the whole Rick and Morty thing, obviously. I was like, well, haha, hilarious, fun, funny, wee ha ha. But then I fell for it, basically, and clicked on the link, and it was really there, and I'm just like, well, shit. Awesome. And then when I saw that they weren't airing more episodes till July or whatever, it's like, well, now this isn't awesome. Now you just are making us wait an arbitrary time, and that's really annoying. They could have just waited. They could have, instead of playing the first episode, they could have just announced a release date for the whole season instead of showing 1 episode and then making us wait like 4 months for the new one.
Oh, or even worse, playing that same episode like 8 times throughout the entire night. Instead of Jack. So salty. It's
kind of lame, but like I said, I didn't actually know Jack was airing that day, so it didn't bother me personally.
One more thing, getting back to your review on, I guess I technically didn't leave it for BoJack. You talked about Rick Sanchez, Clay Puffington, Sterling Archer. Do you have an affinity for, lack of a better term, miserable characters? Hope that comes up.
I do, actually. Because keep in mind that what makes a character interesting is when they suffer. So a character isn't interesting when they wake up in the morning and their life is just so hunky-dory fucking fine that there's smileys and everything like that. A character is only a character when they suffer. And when you have a miserable character that's suffering all the time, that can make them interesting. But there's a fine line between suffering for character's sake and suffering for suffering's sake. So again, with Tokyo Ghoul, it's like that whole torture scene with Kaneki. He's not suffering for character's sake. He's suffering for suffering's sake, which is, for lack of a better word, insufferable. So yeah, nice. If a character has lived a shit life and it's made them the layered character that they are, that you see, that's what makes them interesting, because they have this crap that they've gone through under their belt. Whereas if it's just like, I'm just going to put this this guy in a room and just torture him for 20 minutes. That's not a character. That's just a tool. That's a tool for torture. That's why like something like the Saw movies are not characters. Like the people in the Saw movie aren't really characters, but like somebody in like the Silent Hill games are characters. You know what I mean? Is that it's not
Silent Hill stuff.
Yeah, it's not torture for torture's sake. It's there to build on their character or reveal something about their character. So yeah, that's why I like miserable characters, because they usually lean more towards having some form of suffering that makes them interesting.
Was there any animes that leaked out like that that managed to get that trope right for you?
One sec, let me check. Nothing's coming to mind right now. It's not fucking Tokyo Ghoul.
What's the name of it?
Mushishi, in a way, because of Ginkgo's past. That's definitely one of them. Yeah. You know what? I haven't watched all of Full Metal Alchemist, but that's true. From what I've seen, it's true. I got like 40-something episodes into the first series and then just switched to something else. Let's see here.
Sometimes it's good to take a break.
I mean, Soul Eater has that stuff too.
Yeah. Oh, Natsume Yujincho, of course. Natsume Yujincho, because of Natsume's shit past and how he was treated, makes him a stronger person in the present, which is interesting to me. Boobity-boo here. Just running through my old reviews right now, just seeing if I can remember anything. I guess Shingeki no Kyojin, in a way, not so much a shit past, but more of a shit present. The Eren more interesting, because it's like, you don't really know what's going on with the whole Kyojin thing. And it's like, well, you want to know because he's turning into a huge-ass Kyojin, and that's interesting because he's obviously suffering from that, so that's what makes him interesting. Hotaru no Haka, obviously, because fucking World War II. I mean, there's not much else to say. And yeah, that's... Oh, and Shiki. Shiki with Seishin, with his crazy suicide attempt in the past and his twisted morals, and Ozaki Sensei with his desperation to cure the disease and find out what's going on. That's what makes interesting conflict and characters.
You've definitely proven me to be a pleb.
Well, I mean, I don't want to sound shit or anything, but like I have written a few books, and I kind of know what I shouldn't say I know, but I feel the key to a good character is to give them a conflict and make them suffer, or have had them suffer at some point. My books is basically just nothing but suffering through the whole thing.
DeviantArt would call that a victim sue.
Okay. I don't know anything about DeviantArt really, so I wouldn't know that.
You're doing fine. Okay. All right.
Like, I know about it, but I don't know, like, specifics.
Oh, gosh. There's some places you just don't want to go because it's just tumor city. With tumor people with little tumor legs and arms and tumor mouths.
Pretty much every website to me is tumor town. They're tumor town.
I'm sure every website has that little tumor town, tumor city, tumor alley.
First thing I see on DeviantArt.
I'm a tumor.
First thing I see as soon as I go on DeviantArt.
Sometimes when I go on DeviantArt, the first thing I see is just like a shirtless woman, like with no bra, and I'm like, okay, thank you for that very interesting
in like every interview. That was me, actually.
That was cool. Let me actually go on the DeviantArt like homepage, see if like there's anything weird. Well, I mean, of course, there's probably something weird.
Jesus.
In basically every interview, I belch because I like
this. This feels like it turned into a Gonzo podcast. What's happening?
I already found an inflation picture. How lovely.
All right. Moving along.
Anyway,
before our guest or I run out of the damn.
Okay,
call.
I have. Sorry.
Please. No, take it away, Goldie. I praise you.
Okay, I probably have one of the most generic questions. What type of movies do you enjoy the most? Like within the animation genre?
To be honest, as long as it's interesting, then I don't really care what genre it is. It's like one of my favorite movies of all time is Paranorman, as well as. It's funny, I reviewed a lot of them in the first season. So Paranorman, Hotaru no Haka are two of my favorites, and Mary and Max. I love stop motion movies, for sure. Like, if it's stop motion, it usually shoots up in my favoritism department. But basically anything that's interesting. If it's interesting, then I don't care what it is.
All right. So this is just like, I was immediately motivated to ask this other question. What are your thoughts on Kubo and the Two Strings if you've seen it?
Yeah, I saw it in theaters, actually. So my impression of movies that I see in the theaters are always lessened because I hate being in the movie theater. Like, I love the theater, but I hate being with people in the movie theater because they're always so loud and smelly and obnoxious, and children are coming at the late shows and shitting themselves and throwing up in the aisles and fucking people. But when I see
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a story for another time. But
oh my god, no. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The actual movie itself was really, really good. I'd need to see it again. The stop motion was like panty-wettingly amazing.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic.
But I feel like it did have a really sort of weird structure and some weird holes. But again, I'd have to watch it again to make absolutely sure. So yeah, from my memory, it was quite good. But I'd have to watch it again to make absolutely sure, without any shitting in the aisle, smelly, obnoxious children and fat adults around.
Yeah, I know you hate children.
I just changed my stance on that now. I have downgraded my hatred of children to just general dislike, whereas my general dislike of irresponsible parents has been upgraded to hatred, like sheer outright hatred. So
right, yeah.
Anyways, I do have a question, like based on something else. Channel Fredator, you actually worked on a video for like the top 10 cartoons we want to see come back.
Mm-hmm.
What was your experience with that?
My experiences with Channel Fredator have not been the greatest, to be honest. I like having them as a network because if I hadn't had them as a network, I been able to get all the animators together, commission them to make animations for my show. So I'm grateful for that. But Fredator is extremely bad at communication, like really, really, really bad at communication. It was a really big slog to try and get it done. And they actually changed the title of my video without asking me, which was really frustrating because in the video I said that the, what did I call it? Just check my tuned up folder here. I called it Top 10 Cartoons Taken Too Soon because I really liked the alliterative angle because alliteration's kind of my thing.
Yeah, no, it's within your video titles anyways.
Yeah, and then they changed it without asking me. And I was like, hey, hey boss, what gives? And they didn't give me any explanation for it, so that was frustrating.
Thanks, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay. As far as creative freedom goes, they weren't super demanding or anything. I'm just resentful that they changed things without asking me. They also edit it as well. My editing is usually on the slower side. I like to sort of take my time with it, cut out a lot of my silence and pauses in the video to make it the pace just completely breakneck and insane, which, you know, obviously to their demographic, but that's not the type of videos that I make. I prefer to kind of just do it at my own pace and take my time. Normally on a review, I'll be like, this is why this happened, and it was all like this and blah, blah, blah. But with them, it's like, so this is why this happened, it's like this and blah, blah, blah. And it's just no pauses, no nothing. It's just a breakneck pace so that, God forbid, any 12-year-old clicks away from the video.
Yeah, I was actually sort of surprised when, you know, they let you keep in that blue ball joke, considering, you know, Channel Fredator's demographic is usually safe for work.
Blue balls isn't really a, like,
oh, yeah, but,
NF,
you know.
Whatever, NSFW type thing. I mean, I made 3 videos for them. So the first one was the top 17 most influential Simpsons episodes. And then the second one was every Disney sexual reference project, which, to be honest, was their idea, not mine. They gave me a list of topics I could choose, and all the other ones were so dumb that I had to go with that one. That's probably my least favorite video I've ever made, like, in general. And then the newest one was the top 10 whatever cartoons that they renamed it. And that one, I'm still, like, not ashamed that I made. It's just that sexual reference one I'm really like. I mean, to be fair, it got me quite a few subscribers, which I'm grateful for. It's like, wow, since when do I appeal to the lowest common denominator? Isn't that what I try to actively avoid to do? Anyway, it's kind of pathetic.
Hey, you're fine. I still like your work.
Well, I appreciate it. But yeah, like, that's the only video I actually think back to and, like, ashamed that I made, because it's like, really true. I try not to appeal to the lowest common denominator unless I'm doing it ironically, which sounds really dumb and hipsterish, but you know what I mean.
Anyone else want to chime in?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Here, as a content creator, what's the most expensive thing you've ever lost or broken?
Well, I had something stolen from me a while ago that was pretty expensive. Actually, my brother and I had this little, like, Mario backpack of DS games and DS and everything like that, and some fucking asshole stole it out of our cart when we went grocery shopping. And we never found it. And that was like $300 worth of games and the system itself gone missing. And keep in mind, we were pretty poor when we were growing up. So it was a Christmas present too for my dad. So that was pretty shit. But lost? I don't know. I don't really lose things very much. I like to sort of know where everything is in my life. So no, I'd say I've had expensive things stolen, but not really lost.
Anything broken in that case then?
I had one of my softbox lights break. That was about $100. Oh, my old phone broke. To my Samsung Galaxy Note 4. That was about $800, but I replaced it with a Note 5. I had a couple figures break on me, like things snapping off, but they weren't super expensive.
You talked about passing on non-animated pieces really a major hang-up, or is it just something to tease the fans with?
No, I don't really give two shits about live action. The reason is because in the future, I would like to direct movies or make cartoons. And the thing is, I also do acting as well. Not principal acting, but I do background acting. And so when I watch live action movies, all I can see through the whole thing is the directors directing, the blocking, the cuts, the takes, you know, the camera tricks, things like that. And it's very distracting and makes it very hard to get invested in the stories. There are some exceptions to that, like Watchmen and The Dark Knight. And, you know, the like really, really intense movies that kind of draw your eye away from that stuff. But it's really hard to pay attention. Whereas with animation, it's just a lot easier to focus on and pay attention to because you can't see every single string attached to it. That's the thing, is I see all the strings with live action, but not animation. So that's why I like it better.
When you're not being a content creator on YouTube, what do you bother?
Sorry, I thought you just said when you're not being a content.
No,
that's what I heard a bit of that too.
Like
but then
this is the queen of
clear.
Like, oh,
gosh.
aren't you the one who stick with this? Like, oh, treat the guests as
There's the
royalty.
question I literally was trying to say. When you're not creating content,
Yes.
What do you watch on YouTube?
I ought to actually, to be honest,
if I was going to ask that, it would have been during the anime section. Set me up for that.
With because I want to support them, but I don't watch any animation reviewers because I don't want them to sway my opinion lest I end up reviewing something like that, because it can happen, you know, like they don't like it or they like it so you want to like it or dislike it because that's what they said, sort of thing, you know, mob mentality kind of thing. YouTubers and just sort of general ranty style ones. So my favorite YouTuber is I Hate Everything. I think he's very intelligent, very well spoken. He makes very, very funny videos, and he's such a nice guy too, despite his moniker. You know, he's such a nice dude. Don't really watch him anymore, but I used to watch a lot of Nostalgia Critic. I like JonTron, AVGN, Kid Icarus. I watch a lot of Gmod and Source Filmmaker videos too, like Constantine Riamaruk, Ethiomod, El Toro 64 Russ. You know, those sort of things. Oh, and She Says as well with his Boundary Break show, which is pretty neat. And yeah, it's kind of it. So I watch animation and video game reviewers or people and just like ranters. I used to like Grade A Under A, but now I don't really care for his stuff anymore. It's just kind of lame. Yeah, rather lame lately.
Yeah. If you could steal one person's talent, who would it be and why?
I don't know. I don't really covet other people's like things. I'm kind of happy with the things that I have. I guess maybe if I could do anything at all, like take anything from somebody, maybe JonTron's ability to make really, really fucking funny memes. Like, he's such a meme personality that's the reason why he's so widespread, is his capacity to make memes. I don't know. I'm not very good at that. So I think maybe that would be something I would like to have, just his ability to be really funny out of context. Like, I don't consider myself a funny person at all. So that's why I'm saying is that out of context, my stuff is not particularly funny. At least
You've been very entertaining. Don't beat yourself up. What's one person's online fandom or, success that you might find confusing, potentially baffling?
I don't know. Like I said, actually reaction channels. Anyone who subscribes to a reaction channel and watches their content regularly, it's a supreme piss off to me because they're supporting thievery, supporting illegal acts that goes against YouTube community guidelines and copyright laws. And the people who, I mean, I hate reactionists more than, but still, it's the fact that people support that sort of dog shit content really, really pisses me off.
I was going to say, did you enjoy the big guy being taken to task by the media then?
What, you mean PewDiePie or the Bryan Brothers? Oh, PewDiePie. I don't give a crap.
I'm assuming
I don't care.
Okay.
It's sad that people would go off on him for something like that, considering that it was obviously like a joke. You know, it was a fucking joke. I don't like the witch hunting that was going on, but I'm not well informed enough on the situation to have a strong opinion one way or the other.
That's what Wall Street Journal does.
Yeah, like, I don't think it's particularly nice to witch hunt anybody, even unless they've done something legitimately horrible. Whereas making jokes about Nazis is not really that horrible a thing to do.
Hilarious.
If there's a certain line. It's like a guy walks into a bar and the bartender says, "May I get you something?" He says, 6 million dead Jews. You know, that's like, that's not even a joke. I'm just saying is that there's a certain way to tell a Nazi or a Holocaust joke, something like that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, PewDiePie. Yeah, I just don't like that people would witch hunt like that. Although I do like that most people seem to understand that he was being witch hunted and weren't like going completely insane about it. It's not like the whole JonTron controversy thing, which I don't have a strong opinion on, but I still think it's really shit the way people backlashed against him.
That sounds fair. Is there a series you mean to check out but you haven't gotten around to yet?
Yeah, like thousands of them. I have a list of over 300 suggestions for stuff, and I keep getting the same shit recommended to me over and over and over again, and it's very tiring. But there's lots of stuff I'd like to watch, but I haven't gotten around to. I'd like to watch a lot more of the DC universe, like the Justice League and things like that, because Young Justice was a huge surprise to me. I thought it was going to be like, not bad, but not great sort of thing. I thought it was going to be more along the lines of Ben 10, which I don't like, but it ended up being really damn good. Like supremely good. So I'd like to check out more DC animated stuff for sure.
So for any of your fans listening in, what series do you want them to stop recommending that you check out?
Well, the original one was Code Lyoko because it became a bit of a meme, and it's sort of like my very, very, very small version of I Hate Mars Bars. But I kind of put my foot down and said, every time you suggest Code Lyoko to me, it gets pushed back to another week on the schedule. And so now I won't review it for like 390 years.
That's great.
It used to be Invader Zim. Then I reviewed that, so people shut up about that. Right now, it's probably Ruby. Ruby is the most annoying one. Which, I'm going to be honest, I had it on my schedule for next week, actually. But I ended up scrapping it and replacing it with something else because schedule conflicts? I'm just going to say that and cover my ass. Let's just go with schedule conflicts. Totally wasn't because I just didn't feel like doing it. No, not at all.
Totally.
Here's an animation question for you. What animation out there would you say is the just the best from a visual, where everything else maybe is a bit lacking?
Stop motion. Stop motion is my favorite. I mean, shit stop motion is not cool. Like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, I meant, like, is there a specific animation that you enjoyed that you're like, oh, this is pretty good? It's too bad there's nothing really else going on here besides this sure look.
Oh, so just all style, no substance.
Yes. What would you say is the best looking purple animation out there?
Ooh, it's usually anime, actually. Anime that looks really, really super nice, but has absolutely nothing of merit other than that. So, like, even just the ones I reviewed, so, like, Diai wa Motomeru no wa Machikataru Dadoka, Tokyo Ghoul, Hellsing Ultimate.
Sword Art Online?
Yes, I haven't reviewed that, but yes, Sword Art Online. I despise that series. There's ones that look super nice, Shige no Kyojin, that actually have real substance to them that I wouldn't complain about. But like Hellsing Ultimate looks incredible, but it's terrible. Like it's so fucking bad. I hate Hellsing Ultimate. It's so nothing at all.
I mean, I don't know much about like One Punch Man, but it's visually appealing. The story's kind of just
I don't know anything about that either.
A guy punches things hard.
Yep, that's all I know about that. Like everyone keeps saying One Punch Man, One Punch Man, One Punch Man, and then all I know is that he punches things.
And there's a hot robot.
I like it.
I haven't heard that, but I've just heard like the guy who punches things, and apparently I don't know. It's a popular anime.
He's bald like an egg.
Another one that pisses me off when people recommend it is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's like it's not for me. It's not for me. It's this XLR thing going on here where I know it's not for me. Mm-hmm. So stop asking. Because, like, Megas XLR is probably my most hated review by viewers. So many insecure males in the comments just saying, oh, it's a guy thing, you just don't get it, or, oh, you're missing the point, it's a parody. That makes it exempt from criticism, apparently.
I would like to apologize for liking giant robots and having a penis.
That's not what I'm trying to say.
I'm kidding.
Here, I'll give you an example here. Let me just go to my community page here. It was like the newest comment on that video.
We all have our preferences. I hate moe anime. That doesn't make you a terrible person. I like it.
Ugh, I don't like that either. Okay, here.
Well, then we cool.
This is the newest comment on my Megas XLR review. What does she have against men so much that she needs to shout it? And it's like,
whoa!
I didn't say anything against men. If anything, I was praising men in the series because that series is like fucking man as hell. It's so manly that it's awesome. It appeals to a very visceral instinctual part of your brain that I like. I like it. And yet this guy is like, what does she have against men? And so I said, I have absolutely nothing against men. Where are you getting that impression from? Are you so insecure in your masculinity that any deprecating word against a manly product is seen as an insult and a challenge in your eyes? And then the guy, he replies, he's like, the fact that you tried to insult me with that retort proves that you do.
Okay.
And I'm just like, you realize I could take your retort. Oh, yeah? Sorry, I can barely hear you.
He just couldn't handle the, fucking roast. You roasted his nuts.
Yeah. It's just, you realize I could take your retort against my retort and spin it back your way too, yes? And it just go on forever like that. Stop looking to be offended by things that aren't even true or offensive. Like, it's just... say anything negative against men. I have nothing wrong. I have no problems with men. Men do shit things just as much as women do shit things. We're all shit in shit world together. So being deprecating against men doesn't help anything.
It's great.
Okay. I hope we cool. That's one argument.
Seriously, I like men. I like men as much as I like women in that we're all terrible together. So
all right,
whatever.
Then. Here, let's go to something more funny here. What's your favorite silly hat? I mean, your hats all look beautiful. You know what? Let's start over again.
I don't actually know, to be honest.
I like goofy hats. I just thought it was cool to ask that. My bad.
I'm going to
the Pikachu hat.
A checkered fedora onto your fucking vector.
All right, you know what? I'll edit that whole part out. Never mind.
Yeah, actually, to be honest, I don't wear a fedora. I wear a trilby. Everyone says it's a fedora, but it's a fucking trilby, for God's sakes. And I have goggles on it. Well, everyone assumes that any hat shaped like this is a fedora, but no, it's a fucking trilby.
I understand. You mentioned you were being critical of tsundere during watching round 1/2. Have you ever seen the trope brought off well?
Nope.
I'm not going to argue that.
To be honest,
I was like,
yeah. Pursuit of romance is something that doesn't really appeal to me. Like, romance to me is about as foreign as something really foreign that I can't describe.
The snail.
Yeah, okay, sure. It's more foreign than that, but sure, let's go with that. So yeah, it just doesn't appeal to me to see them fucking chicken each other. It's like chicken, but with emotions, and it's so frustrating. It's just like, if you like him, just fucking say bastard to each other. It's really annoying. So frustrating. I hate tsundere.
Nice.
Okay, well, maybe I shouldn't say I hate. That's pretty strong. Let's just say I'm not fond of them.
You stick to your guns. I don't know anyone who likes tsundere, truth be told.
Then why do they keep doing it if people don't like it?
That's a wonderful question.
Apparently some guys like to fantasize about their dicks being shot off and then having the girl who shot them off say, I love you.
Yeah, because a woman totally... Yeah, if a woman isn't interested in you, then that just means that she's harboring secret feelings for you, and the more dickish you are to her, the faster it'll come out.
Oh, gosh. I mean,
totally.
Are there actually people who, like, think that's real? Or is it, like, are there actually, like, chicks who are like that? Or is it just, like, an anime thing?
I'm pretty sure there's both. I mean, if you look, there's all those, like, tutorials online, books written how to get girls.
Oh, I thought you meant, like, how to be a tsundere. It's like, okay.
Yeah,
I was going to say, it's like, there's a how to be tsundere book. Why am I not surprised?
With men, it's not called tsundere, though. It's aloof. With dudes, it's aloof. With women, it's tsundere.
Oh, really?
Well, no, I'm just saying. Is that
I only know one person who likes the tsundere trope, and that's my boyfriend.
For me, like, I mean, I find it funny, like, if I'm watching well, actually, I'm trying to remember, like, an anime with those kinds of characters. And I don't know, I watch a lot of anime that's, like, from the 60s and everything like that. Friggin', I'm still obsessing over Kimba the White Lion, so don't mind me over here.
I think the only tsundere character in recent memory that I can only think of that's been sort of good, at least, was Princess Ember.
The only one, like, I can think of, honestly, that people keep calling her tsundere is Ariadne's freaking Rainbow Rocks and stuff.
Yeah,
because it's always like, if a girl talks like this, then she's obviously tsundere, I guess.
Right.
Anyways.
I think I saw this maybe as your trailer. Are you a fan of Rob Dyke?
No, okay, I'm actually not a fan of Rob Dyke, but when I made that trailer, he was having this contest Whereas like he would basically promote whoever he thought was the best video. It was seriously, it was a complete clusterfuck. He had one winner, like 6 categories, like just one winner, even though people were entering under different categories. So it made no sense at all. But you know what? At the time I was like, it would take like an hour to make. So I just sort of threw it together and was like, here we go. People seem to like it, but obviously I didn't win. I watched the video that did win. I was just kind of like, what the hell? Did he just pick the last one submitted? This was really awful. I know it's a matter of opinion, but damn. And of course, he didn't do the contest again. I think he realized he fucked up majorly. And it was pretty sad, actually, the way the contest went out. But honestly, I just been way too lazy to make another channel trailer. It's super out of date. But I'm hoping to make a Patreon trailer that doesn't make me want to kill myself, because I really fun. Yeah, but I really don't like asking people for money.
Oh, I know how you feel. I hate asking people just for like anything. I'm like, you can ask me anytime. I'm like, but.
So I'd like to make one as a channel trailer / Patreon trailer. But honestly, I've just been trying to find a way to approach it that doesn't make me feel awful. So yeah.
Could have made an April Fool's joke.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, a little late now. If you feel comfortable answering this one, sorry to go back to BoJack one more time. What character did you feel, if you felt comfortable saying that any of those reminded you potentially of yourself?
Yeah, mostly BoJack.
Okay.
And maybe you know what, kind of that's sort of why I like the characters, is every one of them has a little bit of things that I notice in myself in them. Even Todd, with his ability to sort of support people and put up with their bullshit despite knowing that it's bullshit, that sort of thing, until he snaps, which is sad. It's sad to see Todd snap. But yeah, BoJack with his like completely cynical view on the world, and not so much like the fame aspect, because I'm not famous, but like just the way he views the world is very similar to how I view the world. It's obvious that BoJack's very intelligent, and that's what would make him view the world in such a shit way. And with Diane, her sort of whole deal, I guess. You know what? Actually, I don't really have a comment with Diane. She's just kind of there for me. She's all right.
All right, I'm completely out. If you guys got anything?
Shit, I don't have anything.
All right, wonderful. I had a great time. I'm sorry about some of the socially awkward parts. If you'd ever like to come back as a co-host, if you're not horribly mortified at this point, if we get anybody you're interested in, I would be delighted. I should have this up anywhere between 2 weeks, hopefully.
Okay.
By the way, Fagatini, did your recording go through?
Yeah, but some of the parts cut out because my internet is shit. I can still send it to you.
Okay. Yeah, I just realized the funny part is the independent recording that I was doing for my audio didn't work, and I was like, I know how I could fix that. I just remember what questions I asked, and I was like, I'll just record those separately. Anything to add more work. All right, I'm going to hit stop. I had a wonderful time. Did anybody else want any closing thoughts?
That was fun.
Cool. Groovy.
My pizza's burnt as fuck.
It was fun. It was nice to actually meet you. I'm a big fan of your work.
Well, appreciate it.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Hey, I also what the hell?
He
just ended it.
Anyway.
He abandoned ship so quick.
Wow. Holy shit.
That's Anthony for you, Golden. Anyways.
The moment I let go, sorry, Goldie. I was given my closing statement saying I just tell things to turn out better for you in the future, EyeofSol.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
I hope your cat doesn't come back onto your computer. That would suck.
No, actually, he's sleeping in the hammock over there, so he's asleep right now.
Aw.